Hi guys, welcome back to Cocktail Masterclass with myself, Henry Dewar. I'm part of the beverage innovation team here at MONIN, and once again I'm joined by Kenji Jesse from his kitchen.
Woohoo!
Today we're going to be doing hot festive beverages for you. I'm going to be doing a mulled wine from the lovely MONIN studio in London. And Kenji, what have you got to show us today?
Well, I'm making drinks again in my kitchen, Henry. It's great to be back with you. I'm going to be making a twist on a classic hot toddy. I'm going to be using apple juice and a wonderful Paragon to add lots of complexity to it.
Amazing, that sounds absolutely delicious. For my mulled wine, I'm going to be using MONIN Winter Spice syrup, which I'm going to infuse with orange peel. I'm going to take some red wine, apricot brandy, and a bit of orange liqueur, and then I'm going to steam this using a coffee machine. For the infusion, I'm going to be taking MONIN Winter Spice syrup, and I'm going to infuse this with some fresh orange peel, in order for just to take the zest in the oils and just impart those flavours, just to give the MONIN Winter Spice syrup a little bit of a zesty kick. For this, I'm going to be using the Pro Whip Barista Dispenser from Discount Cream, and I'm going to match this with their fantastic Pro Whip Plus Cream Chargers, which are with nitrous oxide. So each of them has 8.2 grams of nitrous oxide. So for this rapid infusion, I'm going to use 2 canisters, okay? I'm going to take the dispenser and pop it on the scales. And we're going to take 300 mils of our MONIN Winter Spice syrup. Pour that straight in. Perfect. And then to add into this, we're just going to take the zest of 1 orange. So as we've done in the past, we're just going to what's called barreling. So we're going to cut both ends off the orange. And we're just going to be very careful and just to take the zest off with as little pith as possible, because the pith imparts really bitter flavours and you don't want that in your infusion. Just take the knife down like so. Put that to the side. And then just, if you take a knife and just cut off any excess pith, just to make sure that they don't impart any bitter notes into your overall infusion. And then once you've done that, just pop the zest straight in to the dispenser. Away. And then we're going to just seal this up like so. Screw the lid on nice and tight. Obviously you don't want any gas to escape. And then one at a time, we're just going to add our cream chargers in, just to infuse, do that rapid infusion. Give it a really gentle shake, just get all those flavours combined, getting to know each other. Going to give that a little taste, just to make sure that we're all happy with the final product. Freshness of the orange zest and the oils really come out. Just gives that MONIN Winter Spice syrup just another little fresh festive lift, which is perfect. So now I'm going to be making the mulled wine. So for this, I'm going to take our newly infused MONIN Winter Spice syrup. The beauty of this with rapid infusion is you don't need to leave peels and syrups for days or weeks on end. It's instantaneous, which is amazing. So it's great for mass producing in high volume bars and high volume drinks making, because if you run out, then you can make it straight as you go. So for this, we're going to take 20 mils of our newly infused syrup. Straight into a steaming jug. We're going to take 100 mils of red wine. Today I picked a Shiraz. You can pick anything with a little bit of spice, a little bit more body to it, whether it be a Cab Sav or a Shiraz or a Syrah, something like that. But I mean, along with red wine, white wine works really well, rosé as well. Mulled rosé wine is fantastic. So it's 100 mils of wine. And we're going to take 2.5 mils or a bar spoon of MONIN apricot brandy, but any apricot liqueur works. Just gives a little bit of a just lifts those flavours and just brings them all together. So 1 bar spoon of that. And then the final ingredient is just 10 mils of orange liqueur. Everyone, it's always a staple at Christmas. It's a lovely little festive staple ingredient. So just 10 mils. Perfect. And we're going to take this to a coffee machine and we're just going to steam this through. You don't want it too hot. You just want it nice and warm. I would say probably around 50-degree mark. The best way to test this, just have your hand on the outside of the jug, and when it's just getting warm enough, take your hand away and stop steaming. So I'm just going to purge the wine first and steam this. I'm going to take a little gold rimmed glass today, pour the mulled wine straight in, just like so. And the garnish for this is really, really easy. We're just going to take a fresh half slice of orange. I'm just going to pop some cloves in there as well, so they can just slowly over time, they can impart their wonderful little festive flavour in there as well. Fun fact about mulled wine for you, Kenji. It was actually invented by the Romans in the 2nd century AD. They used to consume it in order to keep them warm and ready for any battles or excursions that they might have. So there you are. And there, wonderful mulled wine using the MONIN Winter Spice syrup.
Nice, looks tasty.
It's delicious. I have to say the apricot comes through, the orange zest comes through from that winter spice infusion. It's perfect. Why don't we pass over to you and why don't you make this spiced apple toddy for us? I'm excited to see it.
Great, thanks Henry. So making hot drinks at home is actually a lot easier because we got a stove and a kettle. So I thought I'll take a classic hot toddy for this cold season, which is a dark spirit, whiskey or rum with hot water, lemon juice and sugar. But I want to add a bit more fruity flavors. So I'm going to be using pressed cloudy apple juice. And because I'm going to heat it up on the stove, I'm actually going to make my old drink in a saucepan, a little bit different. So I'm going to start off with a large measure of spiced rum. Just going to pour that straight in. Going to finish off my supply of spiced rum. Now to complement the lemon and the honey, I'm actually going to use Paragon. The complexity will really add some unique characteristics. So I'm going to use the white Penja. Love the flavors that come through. So I'm going to use 20 ml of the white Penja to really add something a little bit different to the hot toddy. As I said, instead of using hot water, I'm going to use apple juice. I think the quality of your apple juice is very important here. I like the pressed, cloudy apple juice really give that texture and flavor to the overall drink. A little bit of honey, get that sweetness. A little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to squeeze some fresh lemons straight into my saucepan. Then I'm going to use a cinnamon stick as my garnish, but I'm actually going to chuck one of the sticks that I've got straight into the saucepan, get some of the flavors coming through as I heat it up. So let me head back over there. All right, so that's everything warmed up. I'm actually going to come around and show you, because obviously with a hot drink, you can use a mug, or I'm going to use my double-walled glass. This keeps the heat inside, so I'm just going to pour straight from there and get my cinnamon stick garnish. So that is my spiced apple toddy. So let me get round. So here we go. So I used spiced rum, some Paragon white Penja, pressed cloudy apple juice, a squeeze of lemon, some honey, and a cinnamon stick garnish in my double walled glass. All ready for the cold festive season.
Amazing. A fun fact about toddies for you, Kenji. They were supposedly invented in the 18th century. So obviously they combined the sugar and the spices to cover the back in those days, Scotch wasn't quite as reformed and as polished as it is these days. So obviously you included all the spices and the sweetness in order to hide the slightly horrible flavour. So there you are. There's a fun fact about toddies for you.
Nice.
Perfect. Once again, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. And all of you at home, thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful festive period with your friends and family. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next year. Cheers.
Cheers.